So you are in a twin flame journey, but you're not growing at all. You've tried everything. You've not found much success, Maybe here and there you have improved, but some core basic feelings, you are very much stuck over there. And that's because you are constantly trying to fulfill some karmic missions and karmic entanglements, or you're trying to fulfill the karmic cycles of life. So my dear friends, in this session, I just want to tell you that you're not here to do that. If you're not here to do that, for that you first need to know about yourself. And if you think that yes, you are different and you're an individual, with the empathetic nature, with the sympathetic heart, with a bit of sensitivity, you like to be in nature, you can understand plants, animals, birds, you're a peaceful person, you're a creative person, and you're not greedy for money or fame or recognition. You don't want to be popular and all that. You just want to do what you love. And you want to be independent. You want to be, useful. All these things you have, in you. But you're not able to do it, or you're constantly being stopped by other people because you also have some kind of a trauma stuck inside of you. That trauma is not letting you be yourself. You have a guilt and you always have a fear that something wrong will happen, which is obviously projected in your twin flame journey also, and all of your relationships, all the romantic relationships you had always end up in some way or the other. Even if someone asks you, or even if someone tells you, hey, I like you for a decade, I have a crush on you for a decade, I've been like this for you and been like that for you, and you think that, okay, this person who's been liking me for such a long time is saying all these things for me, written poetries for me, is crazy about me. Now if I get along with this person, things will be different. But no, they also treat you in the same way, like anybody else. They just look at you like a body, a piece of meat basically. So you are sick and tired, of your life, but you're not able to figure out. So in this channeling session, I am here to talk about this subject with you. A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. Now this channeling is for those people who could be looking for an answer. They could be very lost and sad and depressed, whether they are in a twin flame journey or a starseed ascensioner, light worker, whatever their situation is, they could be going through something. And I want to say this, as you can see the title also, that you're not here just to fulfill karmic cycles. What do you mean by that? Basically, some people on this planet are currently, they are incubated or they are sent purely because they are supposed to raise the vibration of this planet. Now, it may seem to be like really, like some people are here just to increase other people's vibes. Like how do they do that, And you must be thinking that they could be some kind of celebrities or they could be some kind of... No, we are talking about people who are not doing this for name, fame or recognition. They are just here because they have a higher vibration, and once they are in their full power, full zone or whatever, their actual truth is, when they accept themselves as who they are and they don't live under any fear, pressures, traumas, then they start sharing or projecting a vibration that is very uplifting in nature, very calming, uplifting in nature. So what could be happening with you guys right now is, like anyone who's going through this, is that you are getting affected by other people's fears and traumas, and believe it or not, the people who put their traumas in you, they were literally your own people at one time. Like once you start ascending, then you realize that some people are in your life as biological people, biological family members, they could be connected to you, they could be related to you, and they could be having some hold on you, some domination on you. But it is not necessary that they are healed and they are happy and they are at peace. Please understand that they are not perfect people. So whatever mistakes they made or whatever problems they had, whatever issues they had, they just passed it around to other people. Their low vibration, they basically passed it around to other people. And when they do this to a person who's specifically born to raise the frequency of the planet along with others who are like them, then you can imagine the impact, So it could also be very possible that those people are special targets of dark entities, demonic entities, So you could be, as a child, just going to the market to get some milk or bread or butter. And even in that distance, 5 minute, 6 minute distance, you got molested by a person on the street. Somebody flashed their private parts in front of you. Or somebody just bullied you, within that sphere. You went to the shopkeepers, you asked them, do you have this, do you have that? And they started laughing at you. Or, some other child you saw who was very taken care of, protected, they laughed at you because you were out there to buy groceries as a child, Your job was to get the milk and eggs and butter and bread, and even at a very, young age, you were a tiny child, but you were doing household chores. And it's not bad, if your mother tells you go and get bread and butter, go do this, go do that. There's nothing wrong in that. But in today's world, it's not even required because you can get everything at your doorstep. You just literally have to call the people who sell it and they can deliver. But still, I see a lot of people actually, they make their children do a lot of work that actually the adults are supposed to do. When it comes to studying, then they also put pressure on the child that you must study, you must do this, you must do that. And then all these household affairs are also being done by the child. Basic things like babysitting their siblings constantly, getting their homework done, making food for them, which is actually the mother's and the father's job, primarily the mother, but they are supposed to do it. Or anything else for that matter. School related things or neighborhood related things. Or the parents could be very much impacted by what the neighbors think. So their whole life they keep discussing in front of the child, the neighbor is like this, the neighbor is like that. And when they handle the neighbors, they don't handle them with a strong foot. They basically get scared of the neighbors, or they just like to choose the path which is the easy path, like, okay, let's not get into the trouble. They don't show the child that, hey, you gotta be brave, you gotta be bold. If somebody troubles you, this is how you behave. You take a legal action, or you make a complaint, or you go and talk to them. They don't have that boss-like attitude. So the child picks it up. The child could be a boss-like person since childhood. They could be really smart and intelligent. But all of that intelligence actually goes into pleasing the whole world around them. So if you are stuck in that situation and you feel as a twin flame, you're not growing. Progress can only be made if you face this trauma, if you try to examine it and explore it. Well, in therapy, we have many ways to explore it and examine it. In therapy, we have a lot of question and answers. We watch a lot of content. We review it. We discuss it, and we do certain techniques also. Sometimes people who have been in therapy with me, they've told me this, or even in sessions, they've cried out a lot, and they've had a lot of difficulty in accepting that those toxic elements that they're seeing outside are actually basically a hologram of who they are within. And it's very hard to understand that, I cannot be like this. But actually the fear, the trauma, the pressure, it's all within you. The stress, it's all within you. Where does it come from? That's the thing you need to understand. If you know 50%, your problem will be solved if you know where it's coming from, which incident. Sometimes the incidents are way back in our childhood. We may not even visually remember it, but we might remember it because we've been told about it 200 times or 500 times by the same person, like in a story format, like this is what you did as a child, this is what happened, this is what happened. They keep repeating that story to you, and it's not a positive story, it's a negative story. But while you're listening to that story constantly, you start perceiving or you start imagining yourself to be like that. You imagine that you're a problem, you're unworthy, you're wrong, something is horribly wrong with you, or something can go wrong with you. You will always find some trouble, you cannot make any friends, you cannot trust people, and if you try to do something nice, even if you're doing something nice, maybe, some people actually walk up to you and appreciate you and tell you, hey, you know what, I'm really impressed with you. But you ignore them completely, or you just like, yeah, thank you so much. However, when the mean people or the bullies, when they attack you or they stop you, that's the time you get very much affected by them, And these people, as I was saying, these people, why are these people the chosen ones? Because they have a very low frequency. So the demonic agents and the demonic spirits, the negative spirits, can capture them easily. They are easily under the control of negative entities. So the negative entities, they try to attack you via them. So like I was saying, that you're just going to the park to play with your friends, you're just walking past few blocks, it's 4 o'clock in the evening, I'm talking about you as a child, and suddenly a pedophile attacks you. You just somehow save yourself, but you think that, what, I'm just within my society or within my residential area, and I was just going 5 blocks or 4 blocks away. So at that point in time, for a child, that's the world. And it's even worse when things happen in your own house. So your house is supposed to be the safest place for you. And imagine you're getting targeted in the same safe haven. That is supposed to be a safe haven, but obviously it is not. So what type of message you internalize? You internalize these type of messages that you're supposed to please other people, or you're supposed to live in a certain format that's provided by the world around you. And as long as you do that, it's okay with others. As long as you are an ATM machine, or as long as you're doing yes to everyone, or as long as you're completely manipulated and hypnotized by the adults who always wanted you to be their servant or slave, as long as you're doing things for them, only for them individually, you're okay. But let me tell you, once your Kundalini activates, you cannot be the same person anymore. And that's how it is, guys. Don't question why me. I mean, you need to actually say, try me. Because whatever is happening to you, it is something that people beg for. As a soul, you beg for a spiritual awakening and ascension in the same life. In some people's cases, the spiritual awakening happens, but it does not get completed. So then they have to come another 4 lives, 5 lives, 7 lives, as they say. Until then, whatever life they, have remaining days, years, they continue to do the other things, the boring things, the monotonous things. You must be thinking the karmic people are very happy. You think that way. But let me tell you, as a therapist, as a writer, or whatever roles I've played, even as a marketeer, everyone thought that I have the best job in the world because I was working with the Bollywood fraternity. I was hanging out with the A-lister celebrities. I was working with the directors and producers. And at the same time, I was so young and making money, being successful. But trust me, it was a rut. It was a rat hole, and it was a rat race. The biggest rat race, the most grand rat race I've seen. But at the end, it is a rat race. Everybody is living in the ego state. Everybody around me was living in the ego state. And they were attracted to me for the only reason because I was empathetic, and I obviously did not know, like a lot of you don't know why all these people, they come to you and they tell you their problems. I'm so sad, I have a miserable life, I'm depressed. And as soon as, the media is there, or as soon as the other people are there, they are completely in the ego form, like I'm so happy and I want to inspire millions of people. I want to tell people that how hard it was for me to become a famous politician or a famous actress or a famous model or whatever, and look at me, here I am. If I can do it, anyone can do it. This is what they do, and they give the wrong message to the youngsters, to people who have lack of spiritual maturity. They think that this is the best way to live. They act like they're immortals. They act like, their life is amazing, like grand and amazing to be in. But that's opposite of the truth, because when you hang out with them, when you see them without the makeup, without the designer clothes, when you see them when they're insecure, they're constantly insecure. Like, what if I'm not famous tomorrow? What if, I'm not doing this? What if I'm not doing that? And for that, some of them go to any measure and at any length. They don't even have a soul. They had to sell their soul long time ago. Some of the people you meet who are extremely rich, they do the same thing, because then they realize that, no, I don't want to be popular or anything, but I just want to have loads of money, the best cars, the best designer clothes, the best lifestyle, the best food. They actually have a lot of diseases, and trust me, these are all coming from personal conversations with them. They could be taking injections for sugar, for blood pressure. they know a system basically. They have figured out a system hanging out with their doctors because they have so much money, so they can get the best doctors, the best advice. So they figure out a system that this is what I'm going to eat. And at the same time, you'll see them smoking a lot of cigarettes. They're chain smoking. They light one, another every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes. They eat a lot of meat. They are constantly surrounded by jewelry, by show off. It's difficult to even hang out with them because if you're going to sit with them, you have to keep massaging their ego. It's all about them. And if they do talk about others, then also they want the others to feel that, they're doing a favor, or, how lucky they are to be. They must be having some quality. They must be possessing something great in them, to be in the company of such an amazing person. So they are extremely sick mentally, physically, and they have lots of issues which they talk about in their weak moments. But most of the issues, it's about how to maintain this image, how to maintain this money, how to maintain my business, how to maintain my life. All of that they talk about, and they're constantly worried about that. And they're always in the zone of doing. When you're doing, you can't be. You have to just be. You don't have to do, you just have to be. So that, even a channeling like this or anything that I do on a regular basis or you do, which comes naturally to you. Like if you like flowers, you're naturally drawn to them. You bring some plants at home. You plant some in your house. You water them every day. Does someone tell you to do it? No. It happens automatically. You wake up in the morning, you look at your flowers, you're like, oh, I got to water my plants, or I got to put some nice manure in it, or it comes to you naturally. If you're a creative person, you naturally feel like painting. If you like to cook, you naturally feel like cooking a meal. So I'm just talking about, you're supposed to be in your vibration. Your twin flame relationship or your experience is simply a mirror so that you can release everything. And then sometimes it happens, we get another trauma. Like while we are working on ourselves, we're doing inner work, we lose someone very close to us dies, passes on, moves over, or a relationship breaks apart very badly. So we get scared of that inner work also. Because, you think that, is it because of my inner work that this is happening? No, it's happening because you don't need those people anymore. Those people are connected to you. I'm talking about the positive ones also. Mostly the positive ones I'm talking about in this context. So all those people who are supporting you and they suddenly go away from you, they disappear from your life and you are shattered. You're not supposed to get shattered. You're actually supposed to thank them for their support. Their time is over and they had to move on. It could be a friend, it could be anyone, it could be a father, mother, or someone who's close to you, any adult who's close to you. It could be a master, it could be a teacher, it could be a guide, it could be anyone. And then, or they move away from you for whatever reasons, something happens, and you're like, why did they have to go away physically from me? Maybe it is your time to be completely on your own and you would be able to do that sooner or later. So my friends, please remember this thing. The reason why you're facing all this separation, the reason why you have all these fears is because you're trying to do something that you're not supposed to do. You're just supposed to be. You're trying to mirror people, or you're trying to copy people. You're trying to clonify yourself. You think that it will make you happy, but it's making you feel worse. So this is the answer for those people who are not able to grow, or every time they do something that they love, there is some, drama. Some drama always happens, which makes them feel like horrible. Like why am I supposed to, be this way if it is such a big problem for everyone around me, for so many people around me, so many people are complaining. And I'm also scared, every time I take a step forward towards my own truth, I get scared. That's because you're not working in the right direction, you're not releasing what you're supposed to release, and you're just wasting your time on karmic entanglements. For your personal situation, for your therapy, you can check out the description box. We have the removal of 3D blocks, removal of karmics. We work on that. Then we have chakra alignment, and most important, the one that leads you to separation, because people think that, there are so many things that lead to separation. Actually, you are feeling separated because you don't feel worthy of true love, and you don't feel worthy because you have gone through hardcore narcissistic abuse in some form or the other, which you may not be aware, or some of you are aware about it. So we have a proper, way of working on it. So thank you so much for being here with me. And yes, kindly do not share your twin flame journey in advance. And also, guys and girls, one more thing, you need to understand that without inner work, nothing is going to shift. You need to do inner work. Inner work is the key to success and happiness, because inner work will make you bold enough to face the truth. Only when you are facing the truth, when you examine truth from all corners, only then you realize what exactly is bothering you. Is it a person who's bothering you? Is it other people who are bothering you? Or is it an energy, blocked energy, a traumatic energy that is blocking you? A fear that was instilled inside you? A fear that you internalized? So other people are just trying to help you. Actually, they're all trying to help you so that you become stronger and you find better ways to tell the world, to express yourself freely. You're not expressing yourself, like the people in the Bollywood or Hollywood or the models who just want to get name, fame, recognition. You are expressing towards other people. The projection that you're making is because this is who you are. You're not making extra effort for it. You're not in the doer state. You're in the just be state, the being state, So it comes naturally. You're not able to be like the natural things, like mango tree, the flowers, the animals, because something is blocking your roots, or something is blocking somewhere else, something else which you need to examine and find out. So thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for doing the inner work and raising your vibration. And all those people who are trying to just be, all the very best. Keep doing it. I'll see you soon in another one. One love and peace out.